Should be going. All right. Not a lot better. Been having December off trying to avoid PA, but it's been so nice every day. Yeah, dude. December price action has actually been really nice. So what happened today? In my Outlook call, I was expecting GC and silver to continue to break out. I was expecting NQ to come down towards this 25,000 level. Did exactly that. So spot on my Outlook. Don't have like a text channel for that. That was just on. It's recorded in my WAP, so I don't want to watch a 9-minute video on trade review. But yeah, so what was I looking at last night? So this was Sunday open trade, trying to long off VWAP for value area high, just shooting for these 50s. I got stopped on this. I added into it. I was up for about 4 points. I added into this. This entry actually wasn't that bad because we did come to that lower band in support. I sat in this trade for like an hour, and the price just started barcoding. So I hopped off stream, just checked back. PA's barcoded, and I got stopped. Still holding lower band, but no momentum at the moment. Still look for a rally to 43.50s, where that value area high is if buyers step up. We did end up getting that rally last night, so super clean. This was very clean. Ended up rallying up to that 50s area. I did trade this again, so I got stopped out off this candle. This candle stopped me out. I did re-enter once we broke through VWAP with momentum, and just took that. I took that on my Lucid accounts, took it on my Tradeify, and then 2 alpha accounts. And then the other alpha account, I took that massive silver trade off this wick. This happened around the same time, and I just held it all night. I was in that trade for hours and hours. But it paid extremely well. So there's the pop. This is sustaining well. Would expect a continued uptrend with the upper band being used as support. Red area is a 1-hour supply zone. Blue area is a low volume node. Gold right at value area high and low volume node. Might not see rejection here at the low volume node. Could see those New York highs sweep if momentum continues. So I was still leaning to the upside on gold. As we came up to that value area high, we came up into this, there was a low volume node here. It's no longer there. That's where we consolidated at. So there was a low volume node. Price consolidates. That low volume node is no longer present because there's been an equal exchange of buyers and sellers in that region. That upper band held as support. Pushed right up into that resistance zone. Did not sweep those New York highs. That would be like final TP on this. But yeah, overall, I think analysis was spot on. And then I didn't trade today, but I hopped on stream. I was expecting that sell-off on NASDAQ. I know some people in the live caught that. And then I was expecting gold to pick back up here, and it didn't. So that was unfortunate, but, you know, happens. But overall, I think my analysis was pretty good. Hop over to Uranus's commentary. I'm long on GC from lower band and 0.5 going from high time frame 618 from Friday sell-off. Bringing stop to VWAP, don't want it to fail. This is also right around my break-even, so free trade. I brought my stop to upper band, don't want range, would like momentum breakout. Okay. Stole my whole flow bar for bar. Literally took pretty much the same trade. Might have trailed too close on GCU. Just wait till Baron gets stopped and then target his TP. Yeah. That happens a lot. I still got back in. I give ideas 2 attempts, so I was still fine. Yeah, this is a clean trade. Clean trade. So this initial trade got stopped out, and then you got back into this as it pushed back up above that upper band. Going to long NQ at VWAP. I like longs on NQ here, and then I don't know what happened here. 843. What happened on NQ? Did we tap that VWAP? Yeah, it did. It just didn't tap it till London. So still a good call out. That VWAP is still valid. I don't like this last bit. I like longs on NQ here, but already big on my accounts. That's valid. That's valid to me. If you're up big on your accounts, you shouldn't be trading. You should just call it a day. I didn't really like longs in here. I was leaning towards this to just continue to sell off. Especially like whenever NQ opens up like this, and the first 5-minute candle is a red death candle, and then it's not followed by immediate pickup, this is just going to sell off to me. That's what I would be looking at. What are the bands? They're VWAP standard deviation bands. Someone else was asking about them. I just have it set to auto. H plus L plus C divided by 3. Band multiplier, band 1 and 2 on. Standard deviation. And then I just have all these checked. You can put the third band on. It's just you only really want to use the third band if you're trending above the second band, which doesn't happen that often. So to me, the third band just clutters things. The first and the second band are great to use. So yeah, those are my trades. Those are Uranus's trades, our analysis, our commentary. Let's go into trade review. All right, Luke Cato. Failed short, MGC paper, minus 4.2 points. Felt like the setup was solid, but didn't end up working. Overall bias for the day was bullish, but was hoping to scalp a retrace back to VWAP. Plus session 0.5 fib. Confluence's price failing to push out a low volume node on multiple tries. Price was rebalancing that low volume node, so misidentification there. Price started making lower highs, and eventually was consolidating at upper band. Was hoping this meant buyers were losing strength and restress was going to come before a further push up. Okay, yeah. I get it. I understand it. Why we tried this. The short, so we're selling this on a strong candle. This we're looking for a reversal, but this trend is so strong. I personally wouldn't want to short this until I see this upper band starting to break down further. So this comes up above the upper band, tries to sell off below it, immediately gets picked back up above it. That's pretty strong. That's a pretty strong bullish condition. Then we try to break it again. When this tries to break it again, it should go lower. This should go deeper past the standard deviation band. That's what I would be looking for. And then I'm going to look for a retest of that upper band again. So when you're here, right, and it starts to consolidate, I would just cut this. I just cut this. When it's consolidating like this, I'd also check your CVD, see what's going on there. I'd probably just hop out of this, and then you get that pop. You get a pretty violent pop. I feel sick. Okay, so we hit a DLL of 680. Oh, we hit max loss limit on an express. It's rough, Zeke. Is Zeke in here? Zeke's not in here. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, Zeke, but you'll bounce back, bro. I know how rough that is. Yes, sir. I'll catch you later, Bissett. Took this trade off 45-minute IB. We broke out, hit 0.3 extension, so I moved to the 1-hour IB, which didn't have a breakout. But -1 was 100%, so I played the rejection stat on that. Waited for buyers to get exhausted right at the 618 fib. We popped above overnight VWAP, then quickly recovered back under. 4 big sellers, which we then formed bearish box. Enter on that top of the box. Stop loss right above the box, then another bearish box formed right under. I don't know what these boxes are. If this is just big sellers or what. So I trailed my stop to the top of that bearish box and run price down to value area low, which was perfect TP for 50 points. 10 for 11 on the month. Good shit, Draven. Okay. So we're using some deep charts. Okay, yeah, so this is the push above VWAP. Or wait, no, this is the push above VWAP. I prefer to be getting in up here at that 618 because it was pretty much a perfect setup. But you still were able to catch some of the momentum on that down leg. I like it. I like it, brother. Miset is alive. Yeah. Price dump from open into low volume area. Was looking for shorts, but we didn't get the pullback around the 45-minute IB, so I waited for the 1-hour IB to set. High's been playing to the low volume area and bounced, so I took it short at the 0.3 and around New York VWAP. I got stopped here as buyers pushed through that level, and then I tried this level again and got stopped. Should have looked for longs from that low volume area, to be honest, but these trades were rushed as I was at work and couldn't sit and observe. Okay, so what happened here? We're just trying to short this too early. This looks like an EMA, not a VWAP. Or no, that is your VWAP. So this comes up. NASDAQ does come up to... Okay, yeah. That's why. You're on Top Step X. The VWAPs are wrong on Top Step X. So... The VWAPs are wrong on Top Step X. And I've complained to them like 10 times about it, and they still haven't fixed it. VWAPs, sorry. And this does give you a clean setup for push back above that overnight VWAP and then fail, immediate failure. So a trade in here would have been fine. This would have been appropriate. This would have worked a lot better clutch. So this hits the 618, returns back below both the overnight VWAP and the New York VWAP, comes back up to that 382. You could short it here or here. Either one of those is appropriate. Zooming it in and out fixes it. Yeah, it's still off even when I do that. GC marks supply and demand zone volume profile and start Asia session. So that 5 minute, we made a break structure to the downside and exit supply zone. New York Open made a fake up move that came to my fib level 0.5 to 618, and I was waiting for a close below VWAP. Saw lots of aggressive sellers, and I entered. Was a little scared because of the value area low, because we can easily return stop loss on the right next high, close to 618. TP, I ticked on 0 and left it with the break even to the low. Okay, so your TP, you took it off at these lows. Okay. So on this, yeah, once this pushes, so it tries to bounce, NASDAQ, or gold tries to bounce on that value area low. Off this Asian profile, tries to bounce there, and it fails, and then you get that flush. So once that value area low breaks, it flushes through this volume channel. I would prefer to anchor the profile, a bigger profile there. But yeah. Only demo trades, one was on TradingView in London Gold. We hold above upper band. Going for IB high break, Asia and Asia high. I'm using 3 minute London on gold. Second trade continuation on deep chart. I saw price gain absorbed and VWAP and value area high holding the value area low and IB break. Okay. KPEC, just be aware of what size you're using. We want the demo to translate into, you know, our funded accounts. So don't be using crazy size. 1NQ. Okay. Very nice then, bro. Make it, that's up, you're up 150 points. Very nice. Good stuff. Love to hear that. Okay. I like this long. Like this long. Bounce right off that. I mean, this is a short leg. This is a short leg, so this fib might not hold as well. But I like this continuation play for the longs for that IB high break. You probably hit the 0.1. Yeah, you hit the 0.1 extension on that. And then short NASDAQ after that VWAP break off momentum. Both of these are clean KPEC. These are good trades. Threw short from 618, but my entry is terrible. I'll say that I was chasing this trade because I was at work, or else I would have shorted from that level. Better late than sorry, so I entered it on that position as it would be my last trade of the day with 6 micros. The trade did take 2 to 3 hours to play out, but I did scale out half my contract at the lows and moved my stop to break even and held. Then moved my stop in profit and then waited for huge displacement to the downside and moved stop to the top of the candle. Then waited for price to hit TP. 2 for 4 trades today. Okay, yeah, this is the trade I was talking about. This one's much more appropriate. I mean, like, we're going for further targets, right? So we just have to understand that, you know, it might take longer to play out. But I think this is a good trade. This is good management. Yeah, good management. I like this last trade, bro. I don't know where the gold trade is, but this NASDAQ trade's great. Tried 2 short attempts. Second attempt, I copy traded FM TMO. Stop loss hit on all 3. Tried 1 long attempt to New York on comma 8. That got stop 2. Not sure what to take from the shorts of it, and I entered too early, but it seems to be my case a fair bit, and I can't really do too much that I know of. That can't do much unless I know what to do. I noticed there wasn't much intentional push lower when entering shorts, but that's not always the case. With long attempt in New York, I guess I thought we'd bounce. Yeah, I thought we'd bounce as well. Okay. So let's check this out. Okay, so this dips below this upper band and it immediately recovers up. I don't want to short this. I don't want to short this. Okay, and then here, same short attempt. And then we're shorting again. There's not a reason to be shorting up here. Till we're like, there's no reason to be shorting up here until we've come back below this lower band. We've sat below this lower band, and then we come in and retest this in pre-session New York. This would be the short I would be looking for. This, just because we're in a resistance zone, doesn't mean we short it, right? You need some confirmation there. So even if you are shorting this, you wait for this displacement, taps down into that upper band, comes back up, and it wicks. You could short at this as this is wicking out. That's a tough short to take though. But I don't see the short here, or I don't see the short in here until we're like over here near this upper band. Paper trade, POC of volume profile anchored from Sunday open to 9:30, lines up with the 618 level of the fib. Okay. Value area high, volume profile anchored from 9:30 to current time, lines up with 618 as well. Anchored the fib from New York high to New York low. Wanted to target 9:30 to 10:15 IB low, but price got too choppy, so it settled for value area low. Okay. Cool. So good levels marked up. I like it. We already broke that 45-minute IB to the downside. I like how you have a value area high with your POC lined up. I would extend this profile out to see if that POC is still there, but I would assume so, because that's where the majority of volume is being traded. I like this trade. How would you enter this trade? You would look for, you can base it off candlesticks. You can just say, okay, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for a rejection at VWAP in that 618. The moment you see that rejection, you enter. Or yeah, you can look for absorption or exhaustion, or aggressive sellers to step up. But this is a good trade. Typical NQ, 100-point 5-minute candles and rollover today. Instead, inside day from Friday so far and opening near Thursday's low. And resistance area where price held retracement Friday. Waiting for a clear setup to reclaim. Waited for the first 5-minute candle close. Second 5-minute candle wanted to see continue in the same direction. 72-point stop loss. First target 125 points. 125 points. Trailing stop got hit. Original TP was filled, but candles are 60 to 70 points wide. Second trade was IB. Traced to 618. Just not sure. With candle hesitating, closed the candle, sat on it for 60 minutes, and exited with 45 points. Stop was originally 60 points. Okay. So this first trade, yeah, we had a wider stop. Trading with 9 micros. I think that's proper. You had your stop and profit. When it's this close on this first trade, I don't know if this hit. Okay, so this did hit your trail. Okay, so it looks like your initial TP hit, and then your trail got hit. I think this is appropriate, just given the conditions. I mean, you already got your you got 2/3 of your position out of this. I might just go break even with that stop, or just put it in profit. Put in profit a certain amount. I think this is a good trade. And then this trade, I think we just got in a little late here, Rocky. So you saw the 618 rejection, and then you got in up at VWAP. Yeah, I mean, this is still appropriate. I think this short is still appropriate. It was back near that New York VWAP. It was at that 382. It's just this was taking forever to play out. I think the targets are a little wide based off the size of the IB. And then I would like to be in up here. But yeah, I think both of these trades are. I think the first trade's good, and then this trade, solid. I'd say like this first trade, probably B plus A minus, and then the second trade like B minus, just because we're in a little bit late. But I still think it's an appropriate trade. I have to leave the stop side. Yeah, and you're using small size to account for that. You're using micros, so I think it's totally appropriate. ESIP, I put this trade on and closed my phone, so no stop adjustment, but I shorted value area high, Friday volume profile, and target value area low. CVD divergence right at open and trap buyers. Was in on my XFA, but got out early. Damn. Damn, ESIP. ESIP cooked. Remember trade of the day. ESIP. Yeah, just I think what you're doing is totally appropriate, Rocky. It's December. The price action is a little weird. It's still tradable. It's just a little weird. This is also an excellent trade. You sold yourself on the XFA. You still got a winning day in though. Now you need one less winning day. That's how I would view it. He sipped. Okay. So that's trade review. For the giveaway, because I did post this. This sits on silver. I'll be giving away 10 combines. I added into this as well. And then I added 25K day here. I think I'm gonna do this at the start of the January. I could do it next week after Alpha pays out, but I'm thinking about this in terms of price action. Right? If I give out 10 combines in this week of January or this week of December, when all the volume is gonna die and price action is gonna be shit, how many of those combines are gonna get blown, bro? Probably the majority of them. Probably all 10 of them. So I'm gonna do this on like January 1st or 2nd, and yeah, I'll have a form out. It's just gonna be random. It's just gonna be random, but it'll be like a, hey, let's start out the year. I'm giving away 10 combines. What prop? Top Step. Top Step 50Ks. No activation fees. So it'll just be like $90 for each person. Make sure it's random with Rocky Fees. Yeah. My Fund of Futures finally reset my account after 2 weeks. Oh, dude, that's ass cheeks. All right, I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, good trading, guys. This was a crazy fucking trade. How'd the silver trade do? I made 25 grand on it, Rocky. When will be my next stream? I might do one tonight. But I'll do one tomorrow morning for sure. Take the week off. I mean, I'm just doing base hits right now. Like, I'm not going for anything crazy. I don't know if you were on the check-in call, Rocky, but like all my accounts are chilling. Like these Lucid accounts, I don't know if this logged me out or not. It did. These Lucid accounts, these are up. These are up a good bit. I've taken 2 payouts from these as well. These are doing well. My alpha accounts are doing well. My Tradeify growth account's doing well. Check YouTube chat. What's up with YouTube chat? Why is someone saying to ban you, bro? Get it, baby, you're cooked, bro. What am I reading? How do you know if value area highs or lows are gonna hold? You don't necessarily know if they're gonna hold or if they're gonna flush. It's jokes. Gotcha. For the profiles, I use ranges personally. I know some people, like Jaren uses sessions. I personally use ranges. For my profiles. Jaren uses sessions. I know, like, there's different ways to anchor them. Fabio uses ranges. I like to use ranges because I can define, like, what information is relevant to me in the given context. Yeah, so with volume profiles, there's a few different setups. So I just memorize what it looks like. No, what I'm doing is, like last night, the volume profile I had on going into Asia was this. Or sorry, it was this. I included back here as well. Because what's the range we're trading in? What's the range we're trading in? We're trading in this range. Is all this New York information relevant to me? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. As I'm coming into Asia session, what are my key points? I have a value area high here, right? That's initially rejecting, and then you start to get that clean breakout of it, and then you start trading outside of value. How do I know what a range looks like? Is it just consolidation? Not necessarily. Ranges can be consolidation. It can just be highs and lows of price action. Like, if I'm looking at my higher time frame, I've got multiple profiles on here. Like, this to me is a price range. It's just a very wide range. So no, it's not just a consolidation. But why do I have this high time frame profile on here? Well, I have a value area high here. We were initially rejecting there. Now we broke out from there. Oh, and guess what? On Friday, this was used as support. Why not include the whole leg? I mean, you can. It's just, I mean, I could even take a profile off this, just the last bit of consolidation of this range. I could just take this. It's like, what information is relevant to me? As I come into Asia, what information is relevant? Okay, well now this is shifted, so this is supporting this value area high. Price is being supported at this value area high, then it starts to break out. If you take the wider range, well, your value area high is all the way up there now. Once it breaks through that level, it just continues to trend up. I mean, you could take it from any point here. It breaks through that value area high, it continues to trend up. Right, you're seeing pretty much the same thing. Do you trade outside of range, or I'll trade both sides? I'll trade when we're ranging, I'll trade when we're outside of ranges. It's just different market conditions. If you're looking at trading inside ranges, then you really only care about value area high and value area low. If you're trading outside of balance, you're going to care about your value area high and your POC, or your value area low and your POC. No, I don't use tick based. Yeah, I think this is tick based. I'm pretty sure it's tick based since it's in TradingView. TradingView's the volume's tick based. When you click the settings, is it per tick or per volume? It doesn't tell me. I just do number of rows. I don't do ticks per row. Yeah, I do number of rows, not ticks per row. But volume on trading view is ticks. It's tick volume. Alright, I'm gonna hop off. But I will see you guys.